I'm Richard Saunders. Welcome again to Alpha Militaria TV. Now on the bench today I have got probably one of the certainly the most respected well-known PCP rifles on the market right now. It's the HW100 made by German company Weihrauch. Now Weihrauch is best known for its springers. It's got a huge range of springers and some of the best spring-powered rifles on the market for decades. And they were quite late coming to the PCP market. But what that meant was that they had a good look around at what was available on the market, and they took their time and they made sure that when they brought their rifle, their first PCP, out onto the market, they did it right first time, and they certainly did with this. As I say, it's generally regarded as one of the finest PCP rifles around, and for very good reason as well. Now, as with most rifles that have been around for a while, there are quite a few versions of it, and the naming convention can be a little bit complicated. But basically there are two versions. There's the K rifles, which K I believe stands for Kurz, but everyone refers to it as carbine. It's the shorter rifle. And then there are the S models, the sporter rifles, which are full-length rifle. Now the carbines or the K rifles have a shorter tube. The S rifles, the sporter rifles, have a longer tube. Now in addition to that, there are two different types of stock. Any HW100 with a T in the name refers to the rifle stock being a thumb hole, and the S is a more traditional sporter rifle without the thumb hole. Now there are several different materials for the stocks as well. This is the black tactical. It's a sort of a very high quality rubberized finish over wood. There's also an olive green version of this, and of course there's a wood version. Now there are a couple of other variants. There's an HW100 FSB range, which stands for full shrouded barrel or fully shrouded barrel, and there's also a single shot version as well. So what I'm going to do is, as usual, I'm going to run the gun through from back to front, talk you through some of the key features, and then we'll put some pellets in the rifle and we'll take a few shots and see how it performs. So starting at the back, there is a solid rubber shoulder pad. It is adjustable. There's an Allen key, Allen bolt in the back here, which allows you to adjust the butt pad for height and also for cast. In all honesty, you don't really need a butt pad to absorb any recoil from a PCP. There isn't any recoil, but it does make sure that you can get yourself into the right position on the cheek piece, which is not adjustable, but is nice and high and gives you good access to a scope. This is the HW100 KT version, so this is the thumb hole carbine version. So you've got this lovely big cutout here for your hand. It's, you know, it will fit even the biggest hands quite comfortably, and the pistol grip is quite simple. You do have a little bit of a shelf up here for your thumb. You can shoot it thumb up, although it's not a dedicated thumb up position, but it's quite comfortable. Or most comfortable position with this rifle is to wrap your thumb around it. That gives you great access to the trigger, which is fully adjustable, two-stage trigger. Weihrauch has had a reputation for a long time as maker of some of the finest air rifle triggers, and certainly the HW100 carries on that reputation very well. I'll show you on the other side in a minute, but there's a safety catch on the right hand side. The great thing about this safety catch is that it will only operate when the gun is cocked. So if you're out shooting, you're not quite sure whether you've cocked the rifle or not. If you operate the safety catch, if it comes on, the rifle is cocked. If it doesn't, then it's not cocked. And in front of that is the side lever, which I'll show you in just a second. and it's the side lever that really set the HW100 apart from most other guns when it was launched. A lot of guns back then were traditional bolt action, and the side lever on here is beautifully engineered. It's very, very smooth. It's sprung to pop out to the first stage, and then you pull it back a second time to cock it. Now that operates a 10-shot magazine, and I'll show you that again in a second. Now the magazine is another example of how Weihrauch took its time to get things right. Magazines can be quite highly engineered, and a lot of magazines are relatively complex things to use. You've got to fully twist them before you start putting in pellets. Some of them you have to put a pellet in backwards, and all sorts of things. The Weihrauch magazine is just a simple disc that you can even install the pellets in one-handed on a flat surface, and the pellets just push in. They're held in place with an O-ring, and then that just slides into the breech. And again, I'll show you the whole magazine system in a little while. The scope rail is split either side of the magazine. It's a dovetail. You've got dovetail at the front here and dovetail at the back. Plenty of room for you to put your scope on and get it in the right position in terms of eye line. The barrel on this model is not shrouded. As I said, there is an FSB range, a fully shrouded barrel range, but it does come with Weihrauch's proprietary silencer. And Weihrauch silencers are certainly some of the best on the market. Really quiet. How they do it, I don't know, because there are certainly much bigger silencers around, and it doesn't have anything inside it that's special from what I can work out. But whatever Weihrauch does, it just works fine, and they work really well on most rifles. Fitting the rifle is via a plug. Just up here at the front of the action, the front of the cylinder, and that plug has to be pulled out so that you can fill a probe and fill it up to a 200 bar fill. Now on these, on the K series rifles, the carbines, you're probably going to get around about sort of 50 shots from the action before you need to top up with air. The S series, that's closer to 100 in 2.2. Again, a little bit less in 177 as well. And there is a pressure gauge at the front of the cylinder as well. So I think that's pretty much all the key features on the rifle. What we'll do now is we'll put some pellets in and see how it shoots. So this is the HW100 magazine. It takes 14 shots in 2.2 and 177, and as I said before, it's a very simple, just a metal disc, and you'll see that one side has a kind of is sort of rougher, if you like, and there's a slightly raised inner circle here. That's the back of the magazine, and the smoother bit is the front. So to install, all you literally do, if you can pick this up, is push the pellets nose first into the back of the magazine, like so, and just push them down with your finger. Now there's a rubber O-ring around the outside of the magazine that holds the pellets in, nice and steady. So there's no moving parts, nothing to kind of go wrong or get complicated, and it really is an excellent piece of simple design. So that's the magazine loaded. I'll show you now how to put it into the rifle. So installing the magazine couldn't be simpler. You pull back this side lever here until it cocks. There's a retaining catch just here that needs to be pushed back as well. Then the magazine goes in. Hopefully you can see there's a little line on the edge of the magazine there, and you want to put that line in to the breech from the right hand side, and have that line as far down and visible on the left hand side of of the breech as you possibly can, because that indicates that's your last shot indicator. Then once it's in, cock the rifle by pushing the side lever forward again, and then push that catch forward. The HW100 is supplied with a filler probe. It's this black piece here, which was supplied with. This is a separate adapter to attach it to the whip. And to fill the gun, this plastic stopper needs to be removed to reveal the fill pot here. It's a case of putting the probe in, attaching it to your bottle. 200 bar fill is 200 bar fill is what you're looking for on all HW100s. Obviously remove the probe. Don't forget to put the plastic probe back in, the plastic stopper back in. I have to say, although it's very, very effective, the filling process on an HW100, given the superb engineering on every other part of the rifle, it's a little bit basic, but it does work. This stopper, I've never had one fall out. It's a friction fit, so it's quite secure in there. And then if you look at the end here, you can see that's your filler gauge there. As I say, a 200 bar fill. That's not too bad. That's a one hole group. Probably, I don't know, 9 of those pellets went through the same hole just there. There's a little bit of a right to left breeze here. Always make an excuse for yourself, which may have just pushed it off a little bit, or I might need to just adjust the scope a little bit to the right. But yeah, that's good proof as to what the HW100 is capable of. Well, that's the HW100. I hope that was useful for you. If you like the video, please hit the subscribe button and check in with us again. Or you can go onto our website, www.alphamilitaria.com, where you'll find lots of information about the whole HW100 series and the different rifles in the range, and a whole host of other information as well. Thanks for watching.